you saw that in the translation method, word is the unit of speech in a way. Why words are told? Vocabulary is, vocabulary is taught to them by teaching them the individual words. But here, what is important? The sentence is the unit of speech. Okay, this is again a very important principle. Sentence is the unit of speech. Individual words are not taught, but sentences, complete sentences, okay, connected speech is taught. Sentence is the unit of speech. They are told, or they are taught complete sentences. So this is the sentence is the unit of speech here in the direct method. Therefore, the teaching of language begins with the teaching of sentences and not with the individual words. First, the simple and small sentences are taught, and then the long, complex and compound sentences are taught. Nonetheless, all the patterns, all the patterns are taught to them. Okay, S plus V plus O, S plus V plus O plus C, or S plus V plus O plus C plus A. So, yes, all the patterns of sentences are taught until the students gain mastery over them. Sentence is the unit of speech, I said. Okay. Complete sentences are taught, or say complete utterances are taught. Utterances are the spoken sentences. And first small sentences, simple sentences are taught, and then later on compound and complex sentences are taught. But the teacher keeps on teaching them sentences unless and until the students gain mastery over all the patterns of sentences. Once they know the patterns, this is taught through drill, you may say. Drill. Repeatedly, this repetition of S plus V plus O pattern, then repetition of S plus V plus O plus C pattern. This is how. And yes, as Palmer pointed out, what is important? Inductive way. Grammar is taught inductively. Do you remember? Inductive? Yes, inductive teaching of grammar. What do you understand by teaching grammar inductively? We just discussed.
To correct the errors.
To correct the errors? No. How grammar is taught? Do you think the rules are taught directly?
No.
Rules are not taught. But what is taught? Text is taught. Okay, sentences are taught. Once students know how to speak, once students understand the text, then they are taught the rules of grammar. So first they are told, or they are taught the use of language. Okay, then they are taught the rules of grammar. So this is called as inductive way of teaching. Okay. In the direct method, what I'm trying to say, grammar is not taught for its own sake. Like, in translation method, grammar is taught, you may say, for its own sake. It is not an end in itself, but a means to an end. Its aim is to enable students to correct errors. Okay. Correct errors means like, first they understand the text, they know how to speak, and if they're speaking wrongly, then they would know that they are not speaking correctly. Why? Because later on they understand the rules, or they learn the rules. So they acquire the unerring sense of language that we spoke about. They know that whether they're speaking correctly or not. Sometimes, like if you go wrong, you know that you have spoken something wrong. So you correct yourself automatically. This is what you do there in your mother tongue also. So you do the same thing there in the foreign language also, when you are taught English language inductively, grammar, when you learn grammar inductively. So grammar is taught inductively in the direct method. The students learn the language and then the various grammatical forms. the rules, you may say. It may be mentioned here that in the direct method, the lessons are prepared according to some set grammatical plan, some set. Like, you may have, say, in first sentence, you may have, in first lesson, first chapter, you may have articles. So the teacher might discuss articles with you, but they are fused with the lesson. They are the integral part of the lessons. Grammar is not taught separately. Okay, it's not taught as a separate discipline, as a separate subject, but it is taught as an integral part of the lesson. Right? The teacher discusses different aspects of grammar while teaching the text. And yes, we spoke about vocabulary also. New vocabulary is taught after careful selection and gradation. It's not taught arbitrarily. Like words are given, okay, learn these 50 words. No. There is a proper selection and gradation of vocabulary. I must say, control vocabulary is taught in definite stages. Okay? Like, at the elementary level, you have a different vocabulary. At the secondary level, you have a different vocabulary. And, it goes on becoming complex as you reach the advanced stage. So, new words are taught by material association, you may say, or say explanation, or use in a suitable context. Is that fine?
Yes.
So grammar, vocabulary. Vocabulary is taught in context. Now, I'm writing this context. Now here, situations are created, or say in the context the meaning is explained. This is how. Or say words are, words for which they stand, those objects are shown to the students. Now you understand the principles of spoken skills are to be improved. This is one of, when I say the principles of language teaching, what do I mean? Major characteristics. Okay, so what are the major characteristics of direct method? Oral skills are to be improved. Means students are taught to speak in English, and then mother tongue. There is inhibition of the mother tongue. Mother tongue is kept away from the classroom. Sentence is a unit of speech. Individual words are not taught, but the sentences are taught. And then grammar is taught inductively. Okay, first the use is taught, and then the rules are taught, and then vocabulary is taught in the context. Okay, let us now discuss the advantages, you may say. Advantages, okay. What do you understand by advantages? What does it mean?
Merits.
Merits. Very good. Merits of the direct method. Yes. So the biggest merit or the biggest advantage, I would say, is that it is a natural method. What is it? It is a natural method. That means methods are unnatural also. Okay? When you say something is natural, that means there are unnatural methods also. It's a natural method. What do you understand by this? It's a natural method. I will already discuss. Come on, tell me quickly. Yes? Come on. Okay. The direct method teaches language in the same way in which the child learns his mother tongue. Okay? This is a natural way, natural method. What is the natural method? The way the child learns his language, the way the child learns his mother tongue. So the language is taught through demonstration and conversation in context. Okay? Conversation. Like, speech is important. Spoken skills. Students are taught dialogues. Okay? They are made to speak to one another in the classroom. Activities are, they have different activities in the classroom where students are made to talk to one another. Okay? Or they speak in groups. They have group discussion and all. This is how vocabulary is taught or language is taught. Language is taught naturally. So this is a natural method of English language teaching, the way you pick up your mother tongue. Then another, like advantage of this is, if you are taught through direct method, you must have seen, like students of public school, you gain fluency of speech. What do you gain? Fluency of speech. Students gain, or students acquire what? What do they acquire? Fluency of speech. Fluency of speech. So that the direct method lays stress on speech. As a result, students acquire fluency of speech. Okay, their spoken skills are improved. They think directly in English without the aid of the mother tongue. Means they don't need mother tongue equivalents. They don't require any mother tongue help or assistance or aid. They are quick at understanding spoken English. They also have a good pronunciation. Because teachers themselves have a good pronunciation in public schools and all. Since they speak correctly, so their students also speak correctly. They have a good pronunciation. The students who are taught through this method converse in English with natural ease. They do not have any difficulty in say communicating, in speaking English. Why? Because they have learned it. They have acquired it naturally, the way they have acquired their own mother tongue. And another thing, this method is interesting in a way, becomes interesting by the use of audiovisual aids. So it makes use of this method, makes use of audio visual aids. What are we discussing? We are discussing advantages, okay? Advantages. In exam, when you are asked to write what do you understand by the direct method? If you have this question, then what would you do? You would write the principles of the direct method, the way you did in the translation method, or say aim, what is the aim, why is it taught, and why English language is taught, that is aim, and then advantages and disadvantages. Because if you have advantages, there might be a few disadvantages also. Although this is considered to be the perfect method, yet you can't say that this is the free of disadvantages. This is free of demerits. No. So here I was telling you that audiovisual aids are used. The target language is taught through demonstration and through various audiovisual aids like audio lectures, you may say, e-lectures that we have these days, or say PPTs, teacher shows PPTs, video lectures, video clippings. The use of these aids facilitates learning and makes lessons interesting. Okay, what does it do? It makes the lessons interesting, and it facilitates learning also. The students learn easily. Okay, what do? They also pick up the language easily. It facilitates learning. Not only, I ever say it facilitates reading and writing also. Not only spoken skills improved, not only spoken skills of the students are improved, but if the students are taught through direct method, then they become good at reading and writing also. The teaching through the direct method enables the students to read, write, and speak the foreign language with perfect ease. They develop a flair for the language, I must say. What do they develop? A flair, an interest for the language. They also acquire love for reading the language. You must have seen students, they not only watch English movies, Harry Potter and all. I would find, I would come across students, if I happen to visit some public schools, some convent and all, very small students around, say, of 10 or 12 years of age, carrying big volumes of Harry Potter with them. Why? Because they can read, they have a flair for the language, they understand it. So they not only watch English movies, they also read English novels and all. So this is something good. They watch the English news and movies with the same comfort. and interest as they do in their own mother tongue. These days, they watch English movies with more interest than they watch movies of their mother tongue. So, Champion again is a very famous linguist. According to him, the direct method makes the reading of English literature, English literature easy and interesting. Is it? Yeah. Because once you know language, once you are good at language, then only you can enjoy literature. You cannot enjoy literature, my dear students, if you are not good at English. So, English language, I mean. So, it is very important, it is essential, it is prerequisite that you learn the English language. And how can you learn it? You can learn the English language only when you speak. So, spoken English, oral form of English, oral form of any language for that matter is very important to try to acquire it, and that you can acquire only by speaking to one another amongst yourself. Okay, do that. And yes, I was talking about literature, so I forgot to write the points anyway. It helps the critical study of literature. Critical study of literature. That means you learn to appreciate literature. Literature, when I'm talking about, or when we talk about literature, here by literature we mean different genre, like poetry, fiction, drama, prose, criticism and all. So the direct method helps the students acquire a practical command of the language. It helps them in the critical study of literature. When I say practical command, what does it mean? That they acquire command over all the 4 skills of learning. What are the 4 skills of learning? Come on quickly. Yes?
LSRW.
LSRW. Okay. Tell me the full form.
Learning, speaking,
Listening,
speaking, reading and writing.
Listening, speaking, reading and writing. Okay. When you acquire all the mastery over all the skills, then only you have a practical command of the language. So this method gives you practical command of the language. It helps students to appreciate literature. Okay, it helps them in the critical study of literature. They do not find the practical criticism of poems and prose passages as difficult and boring. When I discuss practical criticism of poems, the students find it very boring. Why? Because they don't understand. They would say, well, we can understand a prose passage, we can understand a story, we can understand novel and all, but we cannot understand poem that well as we can understand prose. Why? Because the words are arranged in a different order in prose, in poetry, I mean. So they find the poetry the practical criticism of poems difficult. But once they know the language, I mean, if they have the practical command of language, then they don't find even the practical criticism of poems or say even prose passages as difficult and boring. Why? Because the direct method of learning the language sharpens the literary, critical and analytical faculties of the students. They begin to appreciate the various literary genre. They begin to enjoy, syntax, semantics, and pragmatics of the language. You know all these words: syntax, semantics, and pragmatics. Okay, do you know? Okay, can you tell me what does it mean? Syntax, pragmatics. Yes. Can you give me an example? We already discussed it. Come on.
Different meaning than the literal meaning.
Okay, it's a different meaning. It's a deeper meaning, you may say. Okay, it's not a literal meaning. It's the deeper meaning. It's the contextual meaning. It's not the conceptual meaning, but it's the contextual meaning. Okay.
Sir, you missed one advantage to
come
write.
on.
It is that it facilitates reading and writing.
It was okay, but I discuss it. Yes, I discuss it. Yes. It facilitates reading and writing. Yes. Facilitates I remember to have discussed this. It facilitates reading and writing. While discussing this, I said that if that method of teaching language does not improve your spoken skills, but it also facilitates your reading and writing skills. You learn to appreciate literature. So these are the major advantages. There can be many more. Okay, I have not written all of them, but I have written the major ones. It's a natural method. You acquire fluency of speech, or the visual aids are used in the classroom, so language becomes interesting because words are taught in the context. And critical students learn to appreciate literature. They acquire a critical acumen, you may say. So we have a critical study of literature in a direct English language class, and then besides spoken English, the direct method of English language teaching also improves reading and writing skills. In fact, it improves all the skills. Listening, doesn't need any. Listening is a passive skill, you may say. Okay, when you listen, your skill is improved. So let us see. There are some disadvantages as well. Okay. This is the method which is followed in public schools, in English medium schools, or say in the schools situated in the cities. This is, we are talking about disadvantages. Okay, disadvantages.